Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video from Overbite Gaming. I am the majestic Snare. This is my disembodied voice, which is available to you for 1 million platinum. Seriously, who writes this shit? I do. Oh, okay. First of all, I'd just like to get the obligatory thanks out of the way. You guys are absolutely eating up the whole Warframe videos lately. Thank you very much for all the support. I'm not going to stick around on that for too long, but thank you very much. Cheers. Today's video, as you might have guessed from the title, as everyone does say these days because it's obvious when you get into the actual video itself, is I want to talk about some improvements that we can make to a Warframe experience. A few ground rules need to be said here, okay? All of these points come from a place of love, not hate. I'm falling in love with the game. I probably already have and have developed an unhealthy obsession with it. At the same time, these improvements are ways to kind of make it a bit easier for players to get used to the game and perhaps increase the enjoyment as well. That being said, of course, all of these are just my opinion. They're not based in any kind of factual scientific method, and to be honest, I haven't completed everything there is to do in Warframe. I haven't experienced everything there is to experience in Warframe, so some of these might be kind of, you know, a chance for you to go, he doesn't know anything, what a noob. And I'm fine with that, because at the end of the day, these videos and my time streaming the game have meant that I've learnt so much about it in such a short space of time, and I've just had a great time with the game. So let's get on to it. Okay, number one, probably the biggest one I could think of, it came out of my head straight away when I thought about doing this video, and that's the scenery, okay? Getting stuck on doors, behind kind of obstacles, it's part of the parkour, part of the movement, the dynamicness of the game, but I have to say, when you get stuck on top of a door frame, that's the worst. When you get stuck around bits and pieces of the level, when you get stuck under something crouched and you can't sort of get out of it very easily. Sometimes I've fallen through the scenery, and I would just like to think that simple things like door frames you could slide off, you wouldn't actually stand on. I don't know how much work that would be to fix, but that's how it is. That's one of my big bugbears about the game. I end up feeling very, very stuck in places. And it doesn't take away from the game for me. It's just one of those things where you get stuck and then everyone else races ahead and you're like, I can't catch up with you. Number two is a thing that I only found out the other day, embarrassingly, after 200 hours. And somehow I'd survived without knowing this, partly because I think those missions are a bit poo, and that's the Archwing stuff. I didn't know that there is a screen where you can actually upgrade and deal with all the mods for your Archwing and your Archwing weapons the same way you can for all your other gear. For some reason it's stuck behind a strange button in the gear menus that it's called select mode. I don't even know why it's called that. Surely it should be called Archwing, or even put that whole section on that screen so you can see where it is and see what you're using. I mean, it's like they're embarrassed by it. I don't know. But I hate Archwing as it is. I mean, of all the things in Warframe, I feel like it takes you out of the game. I don't understand how it makes sense. Maybe it'll make sense in time, but after 200 hours, I still think it's a big pile of poo. And when I have to do an Archwing mission, I actually let out a little sigh. It's like a puppy being left alone in a black and white film, surrounded by broken toys that don't squeak. That's the level of sadness I feel. But just to get back on point, can you please just put it on the screen for new players, because they'll never find it. One of the great things I love about Warframe is the companion app that you get with Warframe, enabling you to set off your extractors and keep that going offline, away from the game, and also deal with things in your foundry, building stuff, you know, keeping things going when you wanted to, claiming when you want to, etc. If you're building a load of former, for example, and you've got loads of blueprints, you can only build one at a time, so you can set one off and do it offline. Great, brilliant. One of my issues here is the fact that you can't have a way to earn credits offline. I don't know whether that's just to make people like have to log in and play the game. Maybe that's the design decision that way. It's not a biggie. It's like a thing to improve. If I can do extractors and gain that, maybe just chuck on a few credits on that as well. It doesn't have to be like a replacement for, you know, what you do in the game. And hell, all the stuff you get from extractors, that stuff is also not huge amounts, but you can have that running. So why not have some things for credits? And if I'm missing a trick here, please let me know. I don't want to be the person that doesn't understand how the app works, even though that will be the case if there's a way to get credits. But it's just something I thought of, a way that you could improve the experience a little bit. It's not a huge one, let's be honest. I'm not that pedantic. Now, while I was going through some of these points, I did ask a few friends who also play Warframe what they thought some of the kind of improvements they could they could think of. One of them was about a cosmetic issue where your primary weapon can be holstered and sort of come through your Sindana. I'm not sure if that's the correct way to pronounce it, but that's how I pronounce it, so that's what we're going to be pronouncing it as. But what I want to say is that has some settings you can tweak, but I guess the clipping issue is always going to happen with a flappy cape against something that's solid stuck on your back. It's not a massive deal, but it does take a little bit of the immersion out when you have that character sort of clips in and out of other stuff. And to be honest, the game is such a beautiful game after so many years that, again, a small point here, I think. I'm not entirely convinced that it's something that I should really focus any time and energy on, but it's that overarching kind of fashion frame element of Warframe that really is something that some people get annoyed by and maybe influences some of their weapon choices. So it's something to consider as an improvement, but I wouldn't say you have to drop tools and do it right now, motherfucker. Now, I mentioned Arcwing just a moment ago. Some of the levels, my god, I don't understand why you have to have an Arcwing mission in what feels like a Hammond organ most of the time. It's just a whole series of pipes. To quote my friend James, yes, James, we're getting a shout out here, but he came up with a line that everyone becomes a fly on the windshield of doom. And it's quite true. You end up kind of zipping around this level and suddenly you just go bonk. And it'll just feel so anticlimactic that you're in this massively capable Warframe smashing into walls, but all you do is kind of like bonk. And then it's like, it just doesn't feel right. This is one of the reasons I don't like Warframe. That's a lie. I don't like the Arcwing missions. They feel really removed, and the whole movement aspect in the Arcwing missions just doesn't feel right. There's something missing. There's something not quite correct there. And it's free and you can move in all directions, but I really do feel that it's a bit off. So that smashing into walls, it really needs to have some work done to it. Maybe, I don't know, a bit more on rails. I haven't got a solution. I'm just pointing out the problem like a good fan. But seriously, fuck Arcwing. Now, as somebody who does play with friends, but also I do play a lot of kind of with randoms in public stuff, especially if I'm grinding something and I just want a bit of backup, then it's good. But one of the things I think they could introduce is a selection or a toggle switch to say leave after every public match or something, or only play one at a time kind of selection. Because when you leave a public match and you're still in that squad, you are in a position where you kind of get stuck and you have to race to like leave the squad in case you get dragged to a new mission. It doesn't happen very often, and again, it's not a biggie, but I do feel like it could be a selection or a choice that I could make as a player. Maybe that's they don't have that, so you actually have a bit more sociability in the game, but I do find myself do a mission, leave the squad, do a mission, leave the squad. Maybe I'm antisocial, maybe I'm just that kind of guy, who knows, but I just think of the freedom of choice would be a good thing to have there, and making it so if you're in a particular mission for farming or doing something you are doing that evening, maybe it's a selection you want. Who knows? Personally, I would like it. Other people might not agree. Let me know down in the comments what you think about that one, because I think it's kind of divisive, that one. And just to add to this one as a secondary thought, if you are playing with friends, maybe like 2 or 3 people, and you're pulling in a random, maybe you want to, if you leave that squad, maybe you want to leave as a squad, so you can then just continue, not have to re-invite everyone back to the 4-man squad. It's slightly annoying when you're playing like that. Again, maybe it's not the right thing to do. Maybe it should be a bit more kind of social, but I think it's good if you're playing with 2 other people that you could go away as like your duo or trio, whatever it might be. One thing that does irritate me quite often when I'm doing badly in Warframe and I'm getting my ass handed to me quite often is that my Sentinel dies, and I use my Sentinel to vacuum up all the stuff that's around me so I don't have to go near it that near to where it should actually be picked up, and it's a very handy thing to have around. So why can you resurrect your Kubro, Kavat, whatever it might be, but you can't resurrect your Sentinel? I think that's a bit off. So maybe, you know, you can get mods that help you do that and that it revives itself for one time, but if you're doing really badly and you just end up losing your Sentinel, that's it, job done, your Sentinel is gone. So maybe there's a thing in the future where you could resurrect your Sentinel just the same way you can resurrect other team players or other Kubros or Kavats. It's just an idea. I mean, how about a redeploy and having it in your gear and stuff like that instead of natural resurrection? There could be ways around it. Maybe it's already coming. Maybe some of this stuff is happening in the future DevCon thing, dev chat that they've released. I haven't been watching those because I haven't finished the game yet. I don't want spoilers. I'm very sensitive like that. I'm a sensitive soul. But, you know, that's just an idea. Maybe it's something they are thinking about, hopefully. Maybe they'll watch this video. Maybe someone from Digital Extremes is watching. Hello, nice to meet you. I I love the game, cheers. But that's a good idea, it's just something I thought about. And the last one, not that these are in any particular order of importance, is within the Foundry when you're building something, and it shows you all the particular resources you need, but it doesn't take into account your credits. You might not pay attention to the amount of credits you have at the time. You click, oh, build this, and then it'll go, oh, you haven't got enough credits to do that. Then why the hell did you tell me I could build it in that list if I haven't got enough credits? Awkward. But seriously, it's just a bit annoying. It's not quite like game breaking. Credits are easy to come by in some parts of the game. Once you kind of get on a bit, you know where you can go and farm some credits. It's just that irritating kind of menu option situation. Many games have dodgy menus, dodgy selections, things hidden away, but I think Warframe suffers from it in places more than some, and it could be fixed by having a separate screen or ready to build including credits. It's not a big ask, and maybe again it's something they're thinking of doing, but it's just an idea, and that's just something that was popping into my head. So thanks for getting this far in the video. It's always a pleasure to do stuff and people actually watch. You are an amazing community of guys and girls watching these videos. I really appreciate the support on Warframe content. I really enjoy making it and kind of delving into my brain about what I can make as a video about Warframe. I will be doing future kind of update stuff where I hit certain milestones in hours of the game played, and whether my feelings have changed. It'd been interesting to look back on that over an amount of time. And also, when I get into the kind of proper endgame scenario of Warframe, we could be talking about the updates and the dev streams that happen on a weekly basis, I believe. But I haven't been getting involved in those yet because I want to experience the game as it was intended, almost, you know. So I don't want to be wasting my time going into that stuff and risking going and being exposed to a spoiler. So there's a lot of ideas for future content about Warframe that we'll continue to do, because I do love the game. I would like to hear from you guys if you've got any suggestions about stuff you'd like to see as a video on Warframe. I'm more than happy to hear those suggestions. You guys have been great so far, and I want to use you as a nice talent pool of ideas and basically make the stuff that you guys want to see. That's the main thing. I love the game. I love making content about it. It's a great thing. It's a marriage made in heaven. And thank you to everybody who's watched the previous stuff. It means so much to me. So that's it for me today. There'll be a video on Saturday that will be some kind of commentary piece for the two of us, Lee and myself, and it'll be a very interesting piece. It'll be slightly more mature than fart jokes and pooping, but it'll be something that'll be worth watching. And don't forget, I will be doing the stream on Sunday at 3 PM BST, UK time, that is for people everywhere else. But I'll be doing a stream of The War Within for the first time this Sunday. That's Easter Sunday. It's going to be an amazing thing. I've put some time aside to do all that, so it's going to be fun. I hope I can do it in one stream, otherwise it's going to be embarrassing having a big event and being so crap at the game that I actually have to take it about 4 days to do it. But never mind. Guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow me over at Snare Van Dam on Twitch. Somebody was asking about that on one of the previous videos. And I'll be there on Twitch on Sunday. A video out on Saturday. We have videos out every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. Oh my god, so much to say. And we have to ask everybody who watches these videos, please subscribe and like the video. Helps out the channel a massive amount. And I'm so animated right now, you won't believe it. But guys, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, love you, bye bye.